So, you're thinking about sourcing products directly from China, right? It can feel like this epic quest for entrepreneurial treasure. It's super exciting, full of potential, but honestly, like any great adventure, your success really depends on having the right map. So, let's unfold that map. This framework is going to be your guide for the entire journey, from finding your treasure all the way to bringing it home. Okay, right out of the gate, let's just bust the biggest myth out there. Most people think the hardest part of all this is haggling over price. But the truth is, the most critical mistake, the one that can absolutely sink your whole trip, happens way before you even talk to a single supplier. It's all about where you choose to start. And that leads us to our first and maybe most important rule. Location is everything. Seriously, you have to think of it like this. You wouldn't try to find a specific street without first knowing which continent it's on, right? Well, this is that foundational decision that's going to shape your entire sourcing quest. You see, China isn't one giant marketplace. It's this huge network of hyper-specialized cities, and each one is its own little world built around a specific industry. You don't just go to China for products, no. You go to Yiwu for gifts and decor. You head to Guangzhou for apparel and home goods. And you go to the tech capital Shenzhen for anything electronic. Matching your product to the right city literally puts you at the epicenter of it all, surrounded by the best suppliers and the best prices. All right, so once you've picked your destination, it's time to gear up. This is your pre-trip checklist. These are the essential steps that will have you walking through those markets like a seasoned pro from the minute you arrive. So this is where the strategy really kicks in. Step 1, we just covered that. Step 2 is all the practical stuff. Having copies of your business license, setting up your payment apps, having a good translation tool on your phone. But the real pro tip here, the secret weapon, is step 3. Dedicate your entire first day to research. No buying. Just walk, look, gather info, and compare what's out there without any pressure to make a deal. Trust me, that one day of patience will save you from a week of expensive regrets. Okay, so you've done your prep work, you've scouted the territory, now it's time for the main event, making the deal. And in these markets, it's not just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding the unique rhythm and, well, the culture of negotiation. It's like a dance. And these last 2 steps are where you truly lock in your success. First, you've got to engage in that negotiation dance we just mentioned. And then you follow it up with the absolute most crucial final checkpoint to make sure that what you ordered is exactly what shows up at your door. So let me give you a really simple but powerful rule for that negotiation. When a supplier gives you their price, your opening counteroffer should be around 40% of whatever they said. Now, this isn't about being rude or lowballing them. It's actually the expected first move in this cultural dance. It shows you're a serious buyer who gets how the game is played, and it opens the door for you both to find a fair price. Let me be crystal clear about this. Quality verification is the single most important safety net in this whole process. After you agree on a price, you absolutely must verify the quality. That means checking the first samples and, even more importantly, inspecting the final production run before it leaves China. Skipping this step is the #1 rookie mistake that turns a fantastic deal into a total disaster. You did it. You found the product, you negotiated a killer price, you verified the quality. Awesome! But you're not home free just yet. Now you have to face the final hurdle, getting all that stuff from a market stall in China all the way to your warehouse store. Welcome to the logistics maze. And yeah, getting your goods home is way more than just mailing a package. It's a whole process. It involves coordinating pickups from different stalls, getting everything consolidated in one warehouse, navigating this mountain of complex export paperwork, and then managing the actual international shipping. Honestly, it's a full-time job all by itself. So this really lays out your 2 main options for getting through that maze. You can go the DIY route, and hey, you'll learn a ton, but it will eat up weeks of your time, and there's a pretty high risk of making a costly mistake. The other path is to partner with a sourcing agent. Think of them as your guide on the ground. They handle everything: pickups, warehousing, customs, they get better shipping rates, and critically, they do that final quality check for you. They navigate the maze so you can focus on your business. So with the entire map laid out in front of you, from picking a city all the way to getting your products home, the final decision really just comes down to you. It's time to choose how you want to start your own sourcing adventure. And here are your options. Pretty simple. You can go the DIY route, armed with the framework we just walked through. You could try assisted sourcing if you want some expert guidance. Or you can choose a full-service solution where you basically just provide the product specs and a team of experts handles the entire process for you. There's a path for every single comfort level and budget. At the end of the day, the opportunity in these markets is just immense, but it definitely rewards those who are prepared. You now have the strategic framework. You understand the critical decisions you need to make. So the only question left is, which path will you